Sergio Ramos Garcia was born on March 30, 1986, in Camas, a small town in the province of Seville, Spain. He is the second of three children, where football was not just a sport, but a passion that permeated every moment of his childhood. Sergio Ramos represents not only perseverance, passion, and determination on the pitch, but also a model of someone who constantly strives to reach the top of his career. Ramos grew up in a modest middle-class family. His father, José María Ramos, worked as a day laborer, while his mother, Paqui Ramos, took on the role of a caregiver. It was his family that helped Ramos develop a love for sports from a young age. In particular, Ramos's older brother, René Ramos, played a key role in guiding and supporting his football career. René later became Sergio's agent, following his journey closely over the years. Interestingly, as a child, Sergio Ramos loved bullfighting, a traditional Spanish sport. But after being encouraged by his brother and family, Ramos turned his attention to football. Ramos began his career at Sevilla FC's youth academy at the age of 8, where he demonstrated his outstanding ability, transforming from a boy with a passion for football into one of the academy's brightest talents. Ramos was gradually promoted to the youth team, where he stood out not only as a defender, but also for his versatility, being able to play in many different positions on the pitch. In 2004, Ramos officially debuted for Sevilla FC's first team against Deportivo La Coruña in La Liga. Despite being only 18 years old, he quickly made an impression with his excellent reading of the game and technique. He was considered a gem for Sevilla and was noticed by many big clubs from the very beginning. In September 2005, Real Madrid spent €27 million to bring Sergio Ramos to the Santiago Bernabéu. This was a record fee for a player under the age of 20 and was a testament to the club's faith in the young talent. Under the guidance of famous coaches such as Fabio Capello, José Mourinho, and later Zinedine Zidane, Ramos continued to develop into one of the best defenders in the world. At Real Madrid, Ramos was known not only for his defensive ability but also for his moments of brilliance in big matches. He quickly became the captain and symbol of the team, representing the fighting spirit and determination to conquer all titles. From his early days at Real Madrid, Ramos was known for his fiery playing style, not afraid of confrontation, and always putting the team's interests first. Ramos is a complete player. Ramos has always stood out for his ability to face each other, read situations, and tackle accurately. Ramos is the defender with the most goals in La Liga history, with most of his goals coming from aerial duels. He often scores in important moments, such as the 93rd minute goal against Atletico Madrid in the 2014 Champions League final. Sergio Ramos is not only a football player, but also a symbol of dedication, determination, and the spirit of never giving up. From a boy in Camas with big dreams, Ramos conquered all challenges to become one of the best defenders in football history. Sergio Ramos joined Real Madrid in the summer of 2005, when he was only 19 years old. From a promising young talent, Ramos has risen to become one of the best defenders in the history of the team. With nearly 16 years of dedication at Santiago Bernabéu, Ramos has won 22 major and minor titles with the team, including 5 La Liga championships, 2 Spanish Kings Cups, 4 Champions Leagues, 4 Spanish Super Cups, 4 FIFA Club World Cups, 3 European Super Cups. In particular, Ramos played an important role in Real Madrid's golden era in the Champions League, when the team won a hat-trick of titles from 2016 to 2018. Ramos's historic equalizer in the 93rd minute of the 2014 Champions League final against Atletico Madrid affirmed his class in important moments. After leaving Real Madrid in 2021, Ramos joined Paris Saint-Germain (PSG) on a 2-year contract. Despite struggling with injuries in the early stages, Ramos proved his worth as a defensive leader. In the 2022-23 season, he won League One with PSG, adding to his already impressive trophy collection. Sergio Ramos was an important factor in the Spanish squad that won the historic treble, including Euro 2008, World Cup 2010, Euro 2012. In these tournaments, Ramos not only played an excellent defensive role, but also became a strong source of inspiration for his teammates. At Euro 2008, Ramos played as a right-back, supporting the attack and defending solidly, helping Spain win the championship after more than 40 years of waiting. At the World Cup 2010, Ramos was moved to the center-back position, where he shone with his ability to read situations and his solidity in front of goal. Spain won the World Championship for the first time in history after defeating the Netherlands 1-0 in the final. Ramos is the most capped player in Spain's history, with 180 appearances as of 2021. He is also one of the highest scoring defenders of all time, with over 23 goals for his country. Ramos has also scored 72 goals in La Liga, an incredible feat for a defender. From 2008 to 2020, Ramos has been a regular in the UEFA Team of the Year for his consistent performances. Ramos was awarded the 2013-14 Champions League Player of the Season for his huge contribution to Real Madrid's trophy-winning run. Sergio Ramos is not just a great player, he is an icon of modern football. From his glorious moments at Real Madrid to his historic milestones with the Spanish national team, Ramos has established himself as one of the greatest defenders of all time. His achievements are not just numbers, but a testament to his dedication, fighting spirit, and natural talent. Sergio Ramos is not only famous for his talent and success on the pitch, but also for the scandals associated with his career and personal life. Ramos is considered one of the most controversial players in football history, a defender with a fierce spirit, but sometimes that fierceness leads to dangerous plays, rough behavior, and personal stories that are exploited by the press. Ramos currently holds the record for the most red cards in La Liga history, 20, the Champions League 4, and a total of 28 in his career. In a match between Real Madrid and Barcelona in 2010, Ramos received a red card after kicking Lionel Messi and pushing Carlos Puyol to the ground as he left the pitch. This action led to him being called the saboteur of El Clásico by the press. In a match against Athletic Bilbao, Ramos received a red card for punching Aritz Aduriz in the face, which led to him being heavily criticized for his unsportsmanlike behavior. The most controversial move of Ramos's career took place in the 2018 Champions League final between Real Madrid and Liverpool. In a dispute with Mohamed Salah, Ramos pulled the Egyptian striker's arm, causing him to fall to the ground and dislocate his shoulder, forcing him to leave the field in tears. Many people accused Ramos of intentionally causing the injury to eliminate Salah from the match, reducing Liverpool's strength. The world press called him a butcher and demanded UEFA investigate this action. Ramos later claimed that it was not intentional, but the apology did not calm the anger of Liverpool fans. Another scandal that threatened Ramos's reputation came after the 2017 Champions League final, when German newspaper Der Spiegel revealed that Ramos had tested positive for dexamethasone, a banned substance, but UEFA had ignored the violation. Although Real Madrid denied it, claiming that Ramos had been given the drug for medical reasons, the incident left fans skeptical. Critics questioned whether UEFA was favoring Real Madrid and covering up the wrongdoings of big stars like Ramos. Sergio Ramos has not stopped at Salah. Throughout his career, he has injured opponents many times due to his aggressive style of play. Ramos was criticized for a rough tackle on Modric in a friendly, forcing the Croatian midfielder to retire. In many El Clásico matches, Ramos has used dirty tricks to destroy Messi, from kicking him in the shin to violently pulling his shirt. In addition to his on-field controversies, Ramos has also been involved in private scandals. Ramos owns a multi-million-euro supercar collection, a horse farm in Sevilla, and regularly shows off his lavish family vacations on social media, which has been criticized as being too ostentatious. Ramos has been rumored to have had disagreements with his wife, celebrity TV presenter Pilar Rubio, over finances and work, which both have denied. Ramos is considered a two-faced player, both a hero who helps his team win and a villain with controversial actions. His admirers call him a fearless leader, but to his haters, Ramos is just a football butcher. These scandals have made Sergio Ramos one of the most complex figures in football history. Whether fans or critics, no one can deny that Ramos always knows how to make the world talk about him. He is a symbol of controversy, where the line between good and bad is always blurred. Sergio Ramos, one of the greatest center-backs in football history, is renowned not only for his talent on the pitch, but also for the transfer fee and salary he has received throughout his career. With his leadership, important goals, and excellent defensive ability, Ramos has proven himself worthy of every salary and transfer fee that clubs are willing to pay. However, his financial journey has not always been smooth sailing. From joining Real Madrid in 2005 for a relatively high fee for a young player, to becoming one of the most expensive center-backs in the world, Ramos' transfer value has fluctuated significantly, especially in the final years of his career. His free transfer to Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, in 2021 has ushered in a new phase in Ramos' career. But is his financial value still as important as before? Throughout his time with Real Madrid, Sergio Ramos' transfer value has grown steadily. He has proven himself to be one of the world's top defenders, with his leadership, goal-scoring ability, and outstanding physicality. Ramos' transfer value during this period can be broken down into key milestones. From 2010 to 2015, Sergio Ramos had matured and was one of the world's top central defenders. As of 2015, after winning many major titles with Real Madrid, his value could reach 70 million euros. This is not only due to his defensive ability, but also his ability to score goals, especially in important matches, such as the Champions League final. At the height of his career, Ramos was one of the highest-paid players at Real Madrid. However, his transfer fee remained stable at around 75 million euros, which is the amount Real Madrid could receive if a team wanted to sign Ramos during this period. Ramos' influence was now reinforced by his role as captain of Real Madrid and the Spanish national team. Compared to other top players at the same time, Sergio Ramos has a fairly high salary but is not number one. Players like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo always have higher salaries than Ramos, even though Ramos is older than Messi or Rooney at the same time. With Ramos now 37 and a free agent, his future in the transfer market may not be as lucrative as before, but he can still play an important role in a big team. It is predicted that in the coming years, Ramos' transfer value may only be €5 million, 10 million if he moves to another big club. However, if he ends his career at a smaller club or in MLS, Major League Soccer, his transfer value may be even lower. Since joining Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, in the summer of 2021, after a long time with Real Madrid, Sergio Ramos' career has entered a new chapter. At PSG, Ramos continues to demonstrate his leadership qualities and top-notch defensive ability, although his peak form in Madrid has begun to decline due to injuries and age. Football experts highly appreciate Ramos for his intelligent playing ability, excellent reading of the game, and strong leadership on the pitch. However, some have pointed out that his physical fitness is no longer what it used to be, which could reduce his ability to engage in fierce challenges and move quickly, especially in high-profile matches in the Champions League. Some famous sports newspapers such as Marca and L'Equipe have commented that, Although he is no longer at his peak form, Ramos is still capable of making a big impact in important matches. Some Real Madrid fans were sad to see Ramos leave, but they couldn't deny that he had given his all for the club for 16 years. The achievements and trophies he brought to Real Madrid were impressive, and despite his departure, they still had deep affection for him. However, some fans were also concerned about his fitness in the later years of his career. As for PSG fans, they began to see Ramos as a player who could make a difference in big games. However, some were disappointed when he failed to help PSG get past the Champions League quarter-finals in recent seasons, and sometimes constant injuries kept him out of important matches. With a career spanning over 20 years at the top level, Sergio Ramos continues to be an icon of world football. Although he is no longer able to maintain the form of his peak years at Real Madrid, he remains one of the best central defenders in the world. Despite criticism and doubts about his fitness, Ramos has always asserted his role as a leader in the dressing room and a stable defender.